The stretchCONSULT assessment is an on-site assessment that we carry out with our customers with the aim to establish the safest, most cost-efficient and environmentally friendly solution that we can. We do this through a step-by-step process, which first comes with assessing the customer's current solution through the performance, plastic consumption and load stability. Then we may test alternative materials through the same means, and then following that we will make a recommendation to the customer, which may be through alternative material or through a new machine, or maybe perhaps both. The main benefits that we aim to achieve with customers through the assessment is cost reduction, plastic reduction, carbon footprint reduction, and also time and labour saving. To go through them in a bit more detail, the cost saving can be achieved through multiple ways, whether it be through a more efficient piece of equipment wrapping the pallets, or whether it's through a thinner gauge material or an altered wrap cycle to bring down the amount of plastic that's being used, which then leads into the next steps of plastic reduction, which again can be achieved through reduced thickness in film or adjusted wrapping cycle or more efficient equipment. And again, that leads on into the carbon footprint, because the less plastic you're using, the lower your carbon footprint is going to be. And the time and labour saving element comes into it by, if you are, for instance, somebody is hand wrapping all their pallets and you are able to implement a machine, then that is going to free up your labour for other tasks and do the wrapping task in a much more efficient and consistent way. The common issues I normally find on an assessment are that there's multiple. Incorrect or poor performing equipment, so whether that's somebody who's wrapping a high volume of pallets with a core brake machine, or possibly by hand, depending on the situation. Also, material that is not to the quality that is needed for said machine. So somebody has a power pre-stretch machine that is geared at 250%, and they've got a film that's spec to work at 150%, it's not going to work. It's going to fail, it's going to split or snap before it's even left the carriage. So that's quite a common issue that I come across. And also film that is just not up to spec or the specified quality that the customer's been told. So it may be that they believe they have a 20 micron film, but they only have a 17, or vice versa. Or it may be that the roll is specified at 2,000 metres and it's only 1,700 metres, or the roll is lighter than specified. Multiple things like that, which can all evidently cause issues along the line of wrapping the pallets. One of the main misconceptions with stretch film is that the film has to be thick in order to stabilise the load. As the name stretch film suggests, the film needs to be stretched or elongated in order to stabilise the load. And thicker film is typically harder for machines or even people to stretch successfully with enough elongation that it retracts. So if you're able to use a thinner gauge material that you can stretch out or elongate so that when it relaxes, it retracts with enough force to stabilise the load, then that is the key. So I had a customer that was using 3 core brake machines with 23 micron 250% stretch film to wrap upwards of 150 pallets per day. The pallets themselves that they were wrapping weighed no more than 300 to 400 kilos, and the customer's consumable spend at that time was over £100,000 per year. So I went through a step-by-step process with them where I made a recommendation that initially they should change the material they were using on their existing machines to offer them an instant cost saving of plastic reduction and carbon footprint reduction without compromising the stability. I then put a further step in to say that if they were to replace all of their existing machines with 250% power-free stretch machines, this would reduce their consumable spend from, as I say, over £100,000 a year down to just under £30,000 per year. This meant that with the savings in place, the return on investment would have been within 6 months of them buying those 3 new machines. So it was a very, very solid case.